I'm Shailesh Singh. I head up motorsport and motorcycle business for Bridgestone South Africa. So I think this year being one of the more prominent years for the Ilanga Cup, we've seen a couple of the teams actually make it to the track. I think part of the challenge with the Ilanga Cup is making sure that your vehicle is actually ready to race on the track on the day, and obviously some of the teams that make it, but those who are here are putting themselves to the absolute test. And I think from a Bridgestone perspective, we're happy to see some of the vehicles actually running Bridgestone tyres as well. And I think it's the Sun Chaser that's actually running Bridgestone tyres and doing really well on those tyres as well. So that's really one of the highlights for us as Bridgestone. So a competition like this requires more than just the ability to drive. I think it's less about the fact that you are driving at aggressive speeds and more about the innovation and technology and the young minds, the young talents that actually come together to pioneer the technologies that we see in the vehicles that are competing. So, this really creates a pipeline for young engineers to actually find their ways into schools that support this type of innovation, and then obviously them finding their way into universities that support this kind of education as well. And it just basically creates a pipeline for the future engineers of tomorrow, which is something that we really need more in South Africa than anything else. The Ilanga Cup is then a stepping stone to the next leg, which is the Sasol Solar Cup. So the winners from here then compete in the Sasol Solar Car Cup, and then the winners of the Sasol Solar Car Challenge then find their way to the global stages at the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. The technology that we see being pioneered here and the research and development that goes into creating these cars, speak to real world solutions, and I could definitely think that some of the technologies will find their ways into automobiles of the future. I'm not sure when, but I'm definitely sure that this type of technology will find its way into automobiles of the future, and we should eventually see them in South African roads.
My name is Francis Stevens. I'm part of the Northwest University team driving Naledi. I'm also one of the drivers, and I'm a mechanical engineer. If we win, we will be able to know that our car is on standard, on par with other teams. And if we are not winning, or if we don't perform that well, we will also know where to improve our car for future challenges.
My name's Rob Walker. I'm the founder and event director for the Ilanga Cup. So for this year's event, we invited the competitors that we know have existing solar cars so that they could come and compete. Going forward, teams, they go through an application process where they need to apply to race or compete at the Ilanga Cup. And then once they've applied, we send them the technical regulations, and the teams need to confirm that they can build a car according to those technical regulations. Currently, we welcome any and all teams, both new and established, and as long as they can comply with the regulations, any team is welcome to compete here, whether they be university and or high school teams. Winners benefit by obviously getting the recognition of being the winners and seeing that their project compete and run the way they envisage it to. But it's more than just the winners. All the participants get a benefit of having the practical test of their cars. Some of them break their cars and they realize maybe a fault with their design, but every single participant benefits in the same way in that they get practical hands-on experience and more than just theoretical knowledge. They get to build their design, and then they get to compete with their design. And yes, sometimes like today it's in less than ideal conditions where the weather doesn't play its part, but that helps them realize that the engineering isn't about operating under ideal conditions. So they will graduate from this event having that knowledge, and when they go into industry, they will have a much wider sight and background than just pure theoretical knowledge. So participants in this event will be leaps and bounds ahead of their compatriots who just have theoretical knowledge.